there's no book, there's no manual on what it takes. Like it's figuring it out, and that's the constant thing, and that's the struggle, is figuring it out.
Totally. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the #1 mental health and addiction podcast, the Hopeaholics. I am your girl, Natalie Eva Marie, and these are my boys.
I'm Chad.
I'm at Shane Earn, baby.
Hell
Bash
yeah.
Brothers.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow us on our socials and wherever you get your podcasts.
And remember, new episodes dropping every Tuesday and Friday. Check them out.
This episode is brought to you by the Infinity Group. You guys, if you or a loved one is suffering, please call us today. The number is right here on the screen. We are here for you 24/7. Now, let's get into the episode.
Let's go way back.
Way back. Let's set the table here.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, where were you born?
I was born in Riverside, California.
Nice.
Shout out to Riverside.
I grew up in Grand Terrace. You know where that is?
Yeah. So yeah, I do.
So do you know the Albricks too? Joel and Jeremy?
Yes, Jeremy. So surfer cross. I used to do surfer cross every
so
year.
funny.
I suck at surfing.
So how did this all begin for you? Because what you've accomplished, we just spoke about you becoming the first female into the, how do you pronounce it? Dakar?
Dakar. Yeah, it's like, just
Dakar.
think of like da and then car.
You played me this morning.
Dakar.
Yeah.
I like to say Dakar. Dakar,
In
Dakar.
Saudi Arabia. So obviously, like, what you have done in your career up to this moment has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But how did you get into this? You started at 8, right?
8, yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so I got into motocross at 8. My brother, he raced dirt bikes. And so Josh Grant was our neighbor. And actually at the time, Josh Grant, his dad, were mowing our lawn because that's what they did on the side. And then Josh ended up getting to be pretty good. And my brother was always with him riding every single day. My dad used to race Class 10 cars. And so he always had that desert side to him. But I was into horses at the time, competing on them and basically anything and everything. And then my mom and dad didn't know what to do with me because I had so much energy.
Sure, yeah.
So they bought me my first dirt bike on Christmas one day. And they started taking me to the track. And so my brother's out there training and just going for it. I'm on the Pee-wee track just putting in laps. And basically I wouldn't come off that dirt bike until I ran out of gas and had to.
Mm-hmm.
So soon after that, we had some friends and they were just like, you need to take Sara to the nationals. Like, she's really good. And so I entered my first race and I ended up winning it. And it was kind of like the rest was history. And I always been that daredevil, that kid who's just like, no, like, I want to win. Like, I want to go for it. And like, I always say it's like a switch is just flipped, and it's like if my arm's falling off, I will still be pushing and figure out how to finish it. Like, the never give up is just something that's so I would say just such a strong thing in my DNA.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think it's actually a huge, I don't know what it is, but I followed my brother's footsteps as well into like anything that they were doing, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like you as like a little girl watching your brother, and then you said your dad raced the
cars. The off-road cars.
Yeah. So it's kind of like in your DNA, you know, you want to do what they're doing so that it's kind of being a part of, and then you just all of a sudden happen to be a badass into it, and then your parents like okay, let's open the floodgates and see where this goes. Yeah. Clearly, I mean, you were winning race. You won your first race, you said?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, as a little 8-year-old.
Especially. Motorcycles are crazy. Like off-road, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they damage your body a little bit.
Sure.
It's not if, it's when.
Exactly.
Totally.
Always, that guy died. That really famous guy doing the Baja 1000, like 3-4 years ago, the motorcycle guy. One famous guy hit a tree.
Ooh, I'm trying to think. So it's Chris Caselli.
I think it's that guy.
Oh yeah, I think he actually hit some wildlife.
Yeah,
and,
something.
Yeah,
serious?
In Mexico, yeah, in the Baja 1000.
That was a while ago.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, but they started a foundation and stuff for him, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, in motorcycles, it's not if, it's when you're gonna crash or get hurt. You just hope it's not gonna be a bad one.
Yeah.
And that's something that over time, it's kind of like with age comes a cage. We were just talking about it, and it's true. You want to protect yourself a little bit more, but still get that same adrenaline, that same fix of like what you you want to go after something, you want to go hard, and it's just that's the crazy like addiction of racing.
Course.
It is an addiction.
Yeah.
The rush is nuts, especially starting
rush
with
is nuts.
the 3 start or the 4 start. Mind you, do you do the 50 start? Like, do you guys race to the? Because I've seen those too.
They call it the bomb drops.
Yeah, the bomb drop.
Yeah, so
I've
I
never
don't
done
do that. No, I've
No,
never done
that's
that.
nuts.
Yeah, that's
That's
nuts.
nuts.
So they have like a smoke bomb, and it's like, I don't even know, maybe 100 yards out, maybe 300 yards out, or half a mile, and it has like, it's just this color. And so once the color goes and they drop like a flag, it's whoever's to the first to the
all
bomb.
60 racers just take off,
Okay,
all
that's
lined
nuts.
up. They just converge.
That's
Nuts.
wild.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like starting in motorcycle racing.
Yeah.
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 Somebody's going down.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Every time.
It's so
Oh,
fun
yeah.
to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like whether it's racing a car, playing on a team sport, or doing something at that caliber at such a young age, I feel like is imperative. Just it sets you up for so many things that will help in just life's trials and tribulations, because obviously racing, there's going to be so many different elements that are coming to, whether it's weather or your car. So you have to be able to juggle like any element that kind of pops up. You have to maneuver so that way you can get the outcome you want, which is obviously everyone's goal is to win.
Yeah.
So I feel like it teaches individuals how to win and how to go like that passion, that drive, but also how to lose and how to persevere and find that like that dog in them to keep going, you know, because it's not all going to be like, obviously we're mentioning all of your accolades, but I know that it's not easy to get those accolades and get those accomplishments, you know?
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. And I think the whole thing about racing, you know, is about evolving, and it's about always adapting, because, you know, we're talking about technical errors, and it's
Yeah.
like, it's the same thing in racing. It never goes perfect. So
Sure.
if you have a plan, go ahead, throw that out the window right now, because
Yeah.
it's not going to go to plan.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have a plan B, C, D, all the way to Z,
Yeah.
because that's just how it is. And you kind of have to go off your instinct, you know, like humans are fight or flight animals,
Yeah.
pretty much when it comes down to it. And you need to use that as a tool in your chest. And you have to use as many tools as you can collect and
sure.
try to get as much knowledge you can from
Yeah.
anyone and everyone. And that's not just from the racing side. Like, looking up to, like, let's say you and what you're doing and what you like set your mind to, like, by following you on social media and knowing you as a person, and like, you can just see that you have the drive and determination to want to help others, but also too, you set yourself as an example for that. And that's something that's hard for a lot of people. Sometimes they can say they want to do that, but it takes another thing to do it.
Right.
And you always have to be willing to adapt, and you
For
always
sure.
have to evolve, because it's never going to be as simple as, oh, I'm going to do this and
Yeah.
then just do it.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Never.
Never.
Never is it. That was very well said, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
so much.
thank you.
That
Very,
was
very well
sweet.
said. That is her to a T.
is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you, but I don't know
Yeah.
you that well. But, we're Monster
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah,
We met at
exactly.
Monster May not too long ago.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you. That was very, very sweet. And I appreciate that.
And I'm really grateful Shane didn't ruin it.
Me too. Actually, that was shocking.
I was going to. I felt like I should say something, but then I said no. I'm going to let her have this one.
When did you know, what moment and how old were you when you were like, oh,
This
this
is
is
it.
what I want to do? Like, this is it.
I'm gonna
This
be a
is- yeah.
professional athlete.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old the moment I rode that
Wow.
dirt
When
bike.
you got your dirt bike?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
When I got the dirt bike. Honestly, I probably thought that with horses too. But yeah, I guess I didn't think that hard about it. But then, yeah, when I got a dirt bike, I was like, I want to be professional. And actually, at the time, I wanted to be Kawasaki Team Green. It was a specific
yeah.
like amateur program.
Okay.
And I remember I wanted to be Team Green. Not only did I achieve to be on Team Green, I was the first factory female under
Wow.
Kawasaki. So
Wow.
like bumped it up a level. And it's
Good for
kind of
you.
like,
That is awesome.
ever since that time, I was like, oh, like when they say reach for the stars, like seriously, reach for the stars.
Totally.
Like even if it doesn't seem like obtainable,
Agree.
just freaking put it out there. And it's crazy, like when you plant seeds and you just put it out there, what actually starts to come to you.
I
It's this
so agree.
crazy aurora that just like everything matches up and then comes your way. It's just, I've lived my life that way, taking opportunities, totally taking risks. And
For sure.
I've had really dark years. I've
Yeah.
had a lot of failures. I've had years where I'm like, okay, this is supposed to come back around at
Yeah.
some point with all this hard work.
Right.
Like, what the heck? Why is it happening? Like, not yet. Like, it's
Mhm.
been 3 years later and it's still not. I like thought by now for
Yeah.
sure. And then all of a sudden it's like, bam, you get a win,
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, it's a crazy life.
How old were you with the Kawasaki?
That I wanted. So 2 questions. In. How old? But also, what was your first bike? Do you remember exactly what it was?
A Honda XR50.
Nice.
And I almost ran into my uncle's brand new Lexus he got. It was on Christmas morning, and I whiskey throttled almost into it. But my dad grabbed me, and I was dragging him. So,
oh my gosh,
yeah,
that's hilarious.
And then yours is Team Green, right? You want to
the
know
Kawasaki?
Yeah. So I went national with motocross when I was, I think, 12 or 13.
Holy
maybe. Yeah. So then I ended up doing well in the nationals, and I got picked up by Team Green, and I thought that was absolutely awesome. And then in motocross, you have a really young career.
Yeah.
So like basically you got to turn professional the day you can turn professional. So like the day I turned 16, I was professional.
Wow.
And then the next year I got picked up to race on factory Kawasaki, which, was a huge step for them to even take the risk to sponsor me on that level. And it was awesome. And I was Monster Energy even back then. So it was Monster Energy Kawasaki.
Wow.
And so, it's crazy how life it works in a full circle. And then it comes back around, Now I'm back on Monster and 4 wheels.
Which is bananas.
Yeah.
How was that though, going to school? Because that's pretty sick to be 16 and I'm like, yeah, I'm now a full, like, you're a professional.
Yeah, I did not go to school.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was
saying. I did not go to school. Yeah. It was pretty awesome though. We found a family that travels the same circuit as I was. It was called like the Big Nine. This is amateur races. We traveled all around the U.S. and we all kind of got to be like this little like community because you're traveling so much and all the kids can't go to school because we're so busy.
Yeah.
So the mom was actually an accredited teacher. It's called On Track School, and it's how I got my diploma is through going to school with her. And I actually graduated at one of my races, and it was at Loretta Lynn's house.
Wow.
And so it was pretty cool system.
What a crazy, cool.
Exciting.
I mean, it really is because I do recall like when I met Jeff Emig, he was 17.
Yeah.
And he had his own house and he did his own. I don't even know where his parents were.
Yeah.
Like,
It was just a little.
I mean, we were in high school, so it was pretty badass.
Yeah. I have to say it. And this is a kind of a sad part of motocross and supercross because you do have such a young career. You get all this money and you don't have the education and you don't have the support a lot of the time, like right off the bat when you're young. And so it kind of gets wasted. I feel like I've seen so many athletes blow it.
Sure.
And then you get hurt so much. So then they're honestly getting addicted to pills and
Totally.
they're on all that stuff. So then it's just like, it's sad. Like there's so many stories like that like they get so much from the beginning and then it's just one thing after another and then they lose it all and then they have nothing in the end. And it's sad,
Yeah,
but
sad.
there's a few that made it through that.
Well, I feel like it does come from, I mean, obviously your mom's here today and getting to meet her for, a brief second, you obviously have a great family. And I feel like that helps a lot because you see that especially in like the NFL because the NFL, your lifespan is really only like 2 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And 5 is stretching it. It's really like
I think it's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And a lot of times what happens is the same thing. These guys go into the league and they make millions and millions of dollars right off the bat, off the cuff, whatever they're signing, and think that they're gonna be living like that for way longer than what actuality happens because of whether it's injury or something like that. And then all of a sudden now they have nothing.
Yeah.
And that to me is take those as like lessons that other people have done that hopefully when you're young and if you go into that avenue that you can kind of learn from because that is I feel like so sad.
Yeah.
And sucks because at one point in time you were doing it.
Yeah. And
it's that transition. It's tough for everybody.
For
even
sure.
actors, actresses, singers, songwriters, whatever. You need your mom there.
Well, sometimes though, people also they work so hard and plus a lot of the people have just natural talent and then they arrive at the place that they were wanting to get to, the destination, right? And then they stop working as hard as they worked to get there.
Yeah.
And the people that become the stars, like we could talk about like Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
When he arrived in the league, that's when he really even started turning up the heat and putting in the work.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you have to do to continue in your career.
Yeah, 100%. And that's there's two big things, you know, I think that are, let's just say in racing, but I also apply to life. But, you know, one, you got to know how to lose, right? But number two, you need to know how to win. And winning comes second, I want to say, because you're not just going to win off the bat. And no matter what, if you win, you're going to lose at some point.
Yes.
And to stay on top is a whole nother thing. So yeah, you can't just, you know, give up once you get there, because trust me, there's someone else who wants to be in your shoes and wants to work harder and will put everything they can into it.
1000%.
And so yeah, it's, you know, take that and never stop.
Yeah, that's why I love like anything in a competitive level like that, just because it does. You have to learn how to lose, because in life you're gonna lose more than you're gonna win.
Yep.
And it's what you're gonna do, how you pick yourself up and how you redeem yourself and how you go chase, because we all like that feeling of winning. And we all want whatever comes with that. So it's like putting it into a competitive level is so important, because it teaches you so many life lessons.
Yeah.
Being on the road, I'm assuming it's like WWE in the sense of a lot of people date one another, because in WWE it's like a traveling circus. You're on the road 209 days out of the year. So I'm assuming it's kind of like that in the race world too, or no?
I don't know. I don't think so. So like growing up in motocross, supercross, like there's this weird stigma with like racers and relationships. It's like the craziest thing when you're growing up. It's kind of like once you get a boyfriend or girlfriend, like, oh, they're not serious about racing anymore.
Oh,
like it's a total stigma. Like, yeah. And so like people look at that and they won't take you as serious, or think like maybe you're losing focus or whatever the case might be.
Really?
Yeah. From the younger ages, I think, you know, but then you get to a more mature age and it's kind of like, well, that's the way of life. Like you need to learn how to have a good partner and then make that also like make you better. You know, but yeah, I guess, you know, hand in hand, my boyfriend also does what I do, right? So it's kind of like we found each other, and you have to have that in common, you know, to understand each other's lives, and especially like what we do is so abnormal, I guess, in the world, and especially the rally side now. Like rally's still new to me, but yeah, so it's been pretty awesome though, like to share it and have someone who is in the same field as me. But yeah, no, I you know, there is, but there isn't, I feel like. And yeah, it's weird to even think that there's that a stigma from like a young age in racing.
That is interesting. I feel like, I guess that's kind of a normal thing to think, where somebody gets in a relationship, it's all of a sudden like, oh, their mind's gonna, or like they're gonna be consumed by this individual now. They're not, their head's out of the game or something like that.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest injury?
Oh, biggest injury. So I've had 2 reconstructions on my right shoulder. Oh. Yeah, still to this day it gives me problems, but it's just one of those things. And you know, when you're young and you're racing, you're just kind of like, oh, get to the next race. Like, how fast can I get this healed, doctor? All right, 3 months. All right, so 1.5 months is when I'm gonna be ready. You know, so it's kind of like you always cut it in half, whatever the doctor says.
Yeah.
And then I've had a lot of concussions. So I'm always like, they call it, I'm a soft tissue person, I guess. You have the people that break a bunch of bones, and then you have the people that, like, you know, blow apart their knees or shoulders, or, you know, their, you know, get concussions or whatever the case is. But yeah, I've had a lot of concussions. And then my shoulders have always been an issue for me.
Wow.
When you raced motocross, were you racing against other girls?
So nationally, I was racing against other girls, and locally, I was not, because there was such a small pool of professional female racers, I think, and there was such a step in different competition levels. So there is a difference. This is one thing that I absolutely love about driving, is that there is no difference between a female and a male. When you get behind the wheel, there's no physical difference. On a motorcycle, there is.
Yeah.
We're bred to carry babies, right? So we're going to have a stronger lower body. Yeah. But men are built to be warriors, and they have stronger upper bodies, and they have more endurance. And so on the dirt bikes, they definitely have an advantage over us. And it just is what it is, you know, unfortunately. So there is I would say like 10 girls in the world that probably can compete at the men's level. And then there's kind of a big drop in pace. And so nationally, I raced against the females, and it was a very competitive circuit, but it went away as well. So it was kind of it's a sad thing for women in motocross, because we went to X Games, and then after that we were at a high, and then it kind of all dwindled, and there was no future for women in motocross.
Oh, damn.
Wow. I totally did not know that.
Yeah. It was
Well,
sad.
I mean, let's look at it. Women in racing, there's no. I mean, you got to race with the men.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, that was part of my transition was now
I see what you're
because
saying.
you know you're going from that and now you transition. How's that been?
So the transition from 2 wheels to 4 wheels was, I would say, probably like the darkest time of my life, to be honest, because I didn't go to school, right? My childhood was racing that dirt bike and being on the road, and that's all I knew was going to the next race and then making sure I got my schoolwork done so I can focus on racing. And then I didn't have 2 wheels, and I thought that was my entire life, and that was the career I was building. And then to realize, like, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and you're risking your body, you're risking everything for this. And so when I quit, I guess didn't quit, but retired, I kind of was like, what am I going to do? Like, who am I? Like,
Sure.
am I even like a good person away from dirt bikes? Because, you know, to me, I'm just Sara Price, the motocross girl, you know? And so that was a huge transition for me as a human being and just my life journey, and to figure out what my next thing was, and to know like racing was my everything, but also to pivot and figure out what my next moves were. And I have to say, like, I have this one girlfriend, and she, I was always so socially awkward, and I just like didn't know how to, like,
I don't know why. I don't see that at all.
Yeah.
I feel like you're super
That's
chill,
because
cool.
you're in a room of 4 people that are socially awkward.
Yeah, I guess so.
So we're all like kind of on the
Okay,
same
yeah.
level.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
Shane's
maybe.
probably
I'm like,
the
speak for
least socially
yourself.
awkward. Huh?
Shane?
I mean,
Shane is the most socially awkward.
Thanks. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
especially the way she said it. It was just like,
Wow.
just right there.
Wow.
I love you, Shane.
I love you. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I was always around guys, right?
Yeah.
So like I was on dirt bikes racing,
Yep.
and like I didn't really know what to have like a normal like girlfriend group
Totally.
was. So I had this one friend, Jen, and she, you know, first look at her, she's like this Barbie, right? But she's a strong, independent girl, and she kind of took me, and she's like, "Listen, you're going to lunch with all these women. I'm going to make you sit down. You're going to talk to them." I'm like, what do I talk to them about? Like, I only know like to talk about
Yeah.
racing or something, you know? And it's so uncomfortable for me in that moment when I was young and kind of having to like learn how to be a normal human
Sure.
being, you know? And, you know, I had such great people that are around me that kind of pushed me through those comfortable times. But yeah, after, you know, I retired from motocross, I was like, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to paint cars. That's what my whole family does. We paint vehicles. And I started a touch-up business. You know, I'm going to make $1,000 a week one day, and I'm going to have a house, and I'm going to buy an off-road car, and I'm going to start racing again. And I'm not kidding you. I manifested it. I did it. And within a year, I had bought a house. I had bought my first race car, and I was back racing. I was happy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually like a human being, you know, and now I can have racing as well. And it was a dark period before it was a bright period.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite the journey, to say the least. And I just actually sold that business about 2 years ago. And so that was like, oh man, I had that thing for like 16 years.
Oh my God. You're a savage. How old were you when you started the business?
I was 18. Or no,
Dude.
17 maybe, yeah.
Oh, because you medaled at the games.
Yeah, in 2000, oh boy, 13?
Okay, so that right there, in the sense of you medaling at the games, that is a huge moment, on a massive high, and then all of a sudden transition into, okay, I guess this part of everything is going away.
Yeah.
And now you're losing essentially your identity, something that is just in you. And then to have that basically, I mean, I don't want to say be taken away, but it just kind of,
No, for sure it was. There was
Yeah.
no future in it.
which is so wild,
Yeah.
but is huge. It's like a massive, you had to do a lot of growing up and like internal work to kind of get through that little period of time, because I feel like that is the hardest, like you were saying about whether it's athletes or actors.
Well, thank God she had her parents there and her brothers
Yeah.
there to guide her. Otherwise,
Yeah.
who knows where she'd be.
Oh,
Let's be
for
honest.
sure. And, you know, my parents are always the ones that have been like, all right, if this is what you want to do,
Yeah.
we'll support you, but you better give it 100,000,000%.
Totally.
Because it's like, we aren't going to support you if you're just going to half-ass it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
Oh
doing the
my
wrong
God,
thing.
totally.
Nice. That's good though.
yeah.
Oh my God, my dad.
Somebody's got to say that.
Dude, my dad's biggest saying, and he'll still to this day, you only get what you put into something. I'm like, I know, Dad, I know. So it's
Ah,
better.
we say that.
like,
We say that in the program all
it's
the
totally-
time.
It's like
Yeah.
you can't expect these grandiose results if you're just
Gonna put in this much.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It happens every once in a while. Somebody puts in this much, and somehow they just
Get lucky.
get lucky.
I
You know, the stars aligned that one time.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's not reality of life.
No. No.
Like I can tell you about we started a billing company for insurance to bill, treatment centers. And of course, I'm hoping for the best, and we had this new software. Day one, our software breaks. And we had like 50 VOBs that insurance verifications we had to do. And it broke. And that's just how life is.
Yep.
Yeah, gotta pivot.
You
And-
just have to pivot. Yeah. You've got to pivot. You pivoted.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I totally preach this. It's like adapt and evolve.
Yes,
Always.
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 You have to, or else that's how you die if you don't,
Yep.
or be miserable,
Mm-hmm.
or be stuck in like misery and pain. Because if you are not willing to adapt, adjust, and move, then you're just like basically drowning in quicksand,
Yep.
and life will eat you up for sure.
What's next?
Well, wait, before we go there,
Yeah.
we went from 2 wheels,
All right, to 4.
then to 4.
Yes.
So then when did you start getting back into that and then really competitively racing with 4?
So I bought my first side-by-side and started racing this little short course series out by our house in Lake Elsinore. And, it was funny because like I come from motocross where it's like, this is probably like you with wrestling. You're training and you have all this technique and then you work on it every single day in and out. And like in a car, you can't drive every single day. It just, for the fact of just
Sure.
funding, it's so much more expensive to drive a vehicle. And the amount of sponsorship you need to obtain it, it's not ideal. You can't drive a car every day. It just is the way it is. Dirt bike, you can definitely. If you're not riding every single day, you are at a deficit. So like it was weird to transition to a car and kind of like try to learn what the technique was because no one really knew. It was like they did, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And no one really trained at it or like tried to like find a way to like make it a technique.
Yeah.
And so I constantly was always asking everyone and trying to learn, like, how do you drive? Like, what is
Yeah.
the right way to do this? Like, I don't want to be going into this as deep as I want to. And then yet I think I might be doing this wrong. I don't know. And yeah, I just kind of kept working at it, kept asking questions to anyone and everyone. And I learned to work on my own car.
That's cool. So you can work on your own car.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's nice.
She's
Yeah.
savage.
I
Can-
cannot.
You cannot.
No, I can tell if the shock is low. I can tell if the it needs tightening here. I can feel it. And I could do that, but I don't know anything. I can't. No, I can't.
Really? Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important, especially as a racer and off road, especially.
Yeah.
It's like you need to know your equipment because you're the one that's stuck out there
I
when
could
you're
barely change the in the sand
belt.
the belt always got fucked up. I
Yeah.
could barely change the
Yeah.
belt, man. Getting a little tool in there and
Oh, yeah.
down, having to push. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that
some
was-
hands.
that
It's some
was
hands,
tough.
dude.
That belt was tough.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Good
Yeah,
for
no,
you.
I when I was on dirt bikes, my dad, I was supposed to go testing with like the top suspension builder, which is Pro Circuit in Corona. And he's like, well, before you go, take apart the shocks and figure out what you're about to say to them because we don't, they
Yeah.
don't know what you know or
Yeah.
whatever the case is and what you're feeling on the bike. So you need to know what you're explaining.
For sure.
So I did. And then ever since, yeah, I've worked on stuff. A car, though, is a lot more work than a dirt bike.
Lot
That
more
is for
work.
sure
Lot
because you
more
got
work.
two
Oh
more
my
corners
God,
to
for
think about. So
sure.
I'm like, man, I thought I had it bad on dirt bikes. So I
Yeah.
got to cars and I'm like, man, a dirt bike sounds so nice to work on now.
I bet.
My dirt bike guy, my co-pilot was Kevin Murphy.
Kevin Murphy, I don't know.
He's a
Huh.
yeah.
He was a dirt bike guy.
Dirt biker, and he accidents all the time. Send me pictures of that hole here. The lady would put her finger in there, to
Oh.
pop a rib back.
What?
To reinflate his lung. He was always because he was king of the hill. You know those guys are
Oh,
nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, he did that.
Yeah.
That
Oh yeah.
Hill
those
climb
guys-
stuff?
the hill climb stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
gnarly. I've never seen it
Gnarly.
in person,
Yeah,
actually.
gnarly.
I just watch it on reels. every
Yeah,
once in a
yeah, I
while.
watch it.
Still.
Too. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's actually really.
Yeah.
I mean, the dirt bike stuff I love because, man, it just like I got my first motorcycle when I was 5.
Oh, wow.
I got a little Suzuki 50.
Yep.
And my dad put it in his Cadillac. He bought it at in Riverside right there.
Chaparral.
Chaparral's in San Bernardino. There's the other place. It's a guy's
Smith?
name in Riverside.
Malcolm Smith?
Malcolm Smith.
Yeah.
Malcolm
There you go.
Smith.
Yeah.
She knows.
Yeah.
I was like, we don't.
She know. Well, no, she's from Riverside, so
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's been a crazy journey, but yeah, I bought my first side by side, and then we just kind of went for it, and then one thing led to another. Started the whole process over again from dirt bikes,
Wow. So you
then-
literally, wow.
and just started over, got sponsors, and just was like, all right, cool. I want to race this, I want to race that. But one promise I always made to myself was, I will always make sure that I have a roof over my head first before I spend all my money.
Yeah.
So it's like
Smart.
always everything else on racing, as
Yeah.
long as my bills are covered
Sure.
and minimum like life
Yeah.
needs, because I didn't have that when I raced dirt bikes. And when I quit dirt bikes, I was like, wait, are you talking like rent is $1,200 just for an apartment?
Yeah.
Who in the heck can afford this? This is crazy. Like, I had no idea that like that's what everyone paid. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, this I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. I can't afford that, you
Yeah.
know. And then little do I know, just after manifesting it, coming up with a plan and just kind of going for it, now I'm able to go racing and have that.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool transition, and I just kept with it, and one thing led to another, and just kept climbing, and now I'm where I'm at.
Yeah, it's incredible. Did you meet your boyfriend on the road?
No, he actually slid into my DMs.
Shut up.
Yeah, he was real
Nice.
persistent for a long
Nice.
time.
Yeah.
And then, we hung out one time, and it was kind of like, that was it. And then now we actually both just recently moved out of California. We moved to Arizona, where we're building the dream property, and it's called the Rip-A-Dip Ranch. So
I love it.
yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah.
How do you, so once transitioning from 2 wheels to 4, what does it take to then become a professional racer? Like, what do you have to qualify for something? Do you have to enter a certain amount of races, or how does that work? Because I'm not familiar with like that world. So
Yeah. So from the off-road side, so it's super different than the pavement side. The pavement side, there's all these sections, right? And you kind of have to like climb the rinks in a way.
Okay.
And you do to an extent in off-road racing, but everyone, like, especially if we go around the world, like American off-road is known as like the Wild Wild West.
Okay.
Like, we are kind of just go for it, like, and just burly, gnarly, like, let's go for it, like, send it type of thing. And that's American off-road, and that's what's so special about it. But we don't have a lot of sanctioning. We don't have a lot of, like, for instance, when I go and I race Dakar, that's why it is such a big deal for an American, is I have to also learn the rules, and the rules are crazy. So it's like F1, it's the FIA. And so I'm having to navigate that whole process too, in the means of everything, because everything is based off the rules. Where in America, we don't have that. We basically show up, race.
Oh
go
my
for it.
gosh.
So
it
it's-
literally is the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it pretty
Shit's
much is.
getting crazy out there.
Oh yeah.
So like Shane, that's how you did it.
Yes, I paid for a car, 125,000.
And then
Got a team, entered Best in the Desert first race, won, and just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Yeah.
what? This
Yeah.
is what
And I was
it
against
is
guys
the
I'm
Wild
thinking.
Wild
I'm
West.
thinking about getting me a car now.
Don't.
Hey,
Huh,
guys,
Shane?
this is what I'm
15,
saying. I'm gonna
20
get you.
years.
I'm gonna get you
Yeah.
set up.
Yeah, if you're a
First,
good driver,
first,
you're a
I
good
need to
driver.
go for a ride because,
I went
like,
to
I need to
Dirtfish,
see
though. I
how
went to
scared I'm gonna be.
You got to go to rally school. I went to Dirtfish in Oregon.
Oh yeah, they're my
Yeah.
good friends.
Yeah, I went to Dirtfish. I did
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You
Yeah, we'll
did
set you
that?
up at Dirtfish.
Yeah, I did
What is it?
Dirtfish. It's a rally. You rally drive.
It's a rally school. It's amazing schools.
Really crazy.
Yeah.
Like you're talking, you're going 100 miles an hour, and then you just downshift and you slide it. It's pretty gnarly.
Holy
Yeah.
Oh, so you went to that?
Yeah, I did that.
How long was the course?
I think 6 days or 5 days. You go for
Yeah,
a
yeah.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go for a long time or you can go for a day. Like
Yeah.
they have amazing instructors. Like
Yeah,
one of the
great track.
instructors that worked with me, Michelle, she's absolutely amazing. Josie, she runs most of it, and I just adore her. They're so amazing.
Bring
the
your own helmet.
facility
I
is
feel like
insane.
this is something that the Hopeaholics
should
should
do.
be doing.
It's
Yep.
pretty. It's pretty.
You're
wild.
going. You're going.
Guys,
Really good time.
I mean, Jonathan says I'm Toad's Wild Ride. I wrecked every car that I've
No,
had.
this is
That doesn't matter.
They have an old barn there.
That was when I was
who else was
drinking,
going
so.
there? Some of those famous guys were going there too. Pastrano.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Travis
they all,
Pastrana,
yeah,
yeah.
they all head out there. They do crazy
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his navigator Rhiannon, she does navigation school there.
Oh, she does.
Yeah,
See,
through Dirtfish,
Yeah, I
yeah.
love Dirtfish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good spot.
So really to make it and become like have all the accomplishments that you have gotten to today, you have to put in a ton of your own money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In off-road racing, it's once again different than asphalt racing.
Sure.
We are it's a rich man's sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no true actual support in what we do in off-road racing.
None.
It is passion driven.
Yeah.
It is, and that's what's so special about it. Cause you know, like, so one thing that motocross did get me, it got me into stunts. So it got me into the union, SAG-AFTRA to be in the movies and stuff like that. And it provided a really good income. And that's because, you know, of all my years on two wheels, and they trusted me to get into it from that side. But it's so funny because in the stunt world, I talk about my racing, and like, let's say when I did the Baja 1000, it took me 19 and a half hours straight in a truck, right?
Ooh.
We ended up winning the championship and all this stuff. I'm talking to stunt coordinators who have no idea really.
Yeah.
They do, but they don't.
Sure.
And they're like, so how much you get paid to do that?
Right.
And I'm like,
With the
nothing.
Baja, nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, why do you do it?
40 grand later.
Yeah. Why do you do that to your body? And I'm like, because I love it. I was like,
Yeah.
I know. And I look at them when they're like kind of explaining their side, like why. And I'm like, you just will never know until you get to experience it and you understand like what it's like. Like that's why you're so excited.
Climbing the wall with nothing like 2 feet, and then
Yeah.
it's just a sheer cliff down. And at night, you like I never drove it at night, but with the guys like Herbst, I'm good friends with one of the Herbst guys, and he says when he was driving at night, the side of the car, if there's no sparks, you're gonna drop.
Who would drive? Ed?
Ed
Ed drove with you?
drove it.
Wow.
He would say you got to rub the, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my
The
god.
whole side of the car be scraped at night.
Oh yeah. No, so I am going to enter you guys in your first race. And I will
Maybe
be
the
there
Nora
every
1000,
step of the way.
The Nora 1000 or the 500 would be
Yeah.
good to start.
Yeah.
We
Well,
do the Nora.
we'll set you guys up. So I do have all these cars that my dad has been sitting for like about 20 years, maybe 10. And so when I get my shop up, I'll get them in there, I'll get them prepped, and I'm going to be like, all right, training starts now. You're going to enter
my
this
God.
race, and
Yeah, it's
we're
good
going to make it
time.
happen.
You know what? That'd be it's something good, some more good stuff for
Them.
Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, who was just
Yeah,
here.
for sure. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
I'm down.
I'm down. Of course I'm down.
Fuck
I
it.
just sold my Razor.
So I've never
Raced?
no, like I mean, I've obviously like been in a race car, but never off-roading. Like you would think, because we have Raptors in Texas, so you would think you can take those bitches out.
I still got all of my stuff, my fires, my underwear, my fire stuff. I got everything.
I think it
Almost
car
Sparko
racing in
stuff.
general is a rich man's sport.
Yeah,
though, too,
that
because
too.
I mean
Yeah.
any type of
Yeah.
the road racing,
Yeah.
you've
They
got to
say
have.
buying the car is that's the entrance fee, and you got to
Right.
buy that car every year. You buy a new car.
Yeah.
Art to race on the ARCA series, you have to. It's $1.5 million.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's bananas.
The amount of money in that stuff
nuts.
is so like for me to go to Dakar, which was unheard of for me. This is absolutely crazy. Like I had to spend $500,000 just for one race.
Yeah.
Like 500 grand for
You see,
one
I
race.
said
Like
it. Yeah, it's nuts.
when I told my mom that, she was like, "Oh, for all year?" And I'm like, "No, one race." She was like, "Sarah, what are you
Wow.
thinking?" I'm like, "Yeah, but mom, if I don't do this, I will always be like, I should have gone.
Yeah,
like this is my time right now, so like I'm gonna make it happen." And like I pretty much did go broke, but then I made it happen, you know? Like I got half of it paid
Yeah.
for, so I ended up paying like $250 out of my own pocket, but I still was just like, I don't regret it at all. Like,
Well, yeah, and you're the first American to go and the third woman to do it.
yeah,
So, boom.
yeah,
Like, and then like you said, I think the worst thing ever to have is that regret of like, damn, I shoulda went.
yeah.
It's like you shoulda, coulda, woulda, but really it comes
That's
down.
on your resume now for
Yeah.
another sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, and that's how you get the money.
Yeah.
The sponsorships.
I did this.
Yeah, I'm the first to like. That is how
It is fucking awesome.
brands-
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's
awesome,
sick.
man.
That's
Thank you.
sick.
Yeah.
That's just like everything that you've done is to me what I find because you hear it all the time about people, especially because we live in like a kind of weird like social media era. But for others, whether they're little girls or little boys, like you have the epitome of every quality of that, like that grit, that drive, that perseverance of being super inspirational to somebody. Because it's like, yeah, maybe to the average person, your dreams or what you want to achieve seems, what, she's crazy, but it's, why not?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, worst thing that can happen is I don't get it, but at least I tried, and now you know.
Yeah, 100%. I love that word grit, and I love it. I always use that word for a lot of things, and I explain things to people when they're asking, how do I get involved, or how do I do this? And it's like, you know, you got to have the drive, you have to have the grit, and you have to just go for it. Like, there's no book, there's no manual on what it takes. Like, it's figuring it out, and that's the constant thing, and that's the struggle, is figuring it out.
Totally.
And yeah, you know, I think it's just a matter of, if you really want something, you can make it happen. You just have to believe it yourself. And, you know, like having sponsors come on your first year going to Dakar, it's you know, it's hard. It's hard to get companies to believe in you and invest the first year. So if they can't believe in you and invest, like, the least you can do is invest in yourself and believe in yourself and show them, like, well, if I'm doing it, I'm going to show you that I am worth it and I am a safe bet, you know, for next time.
Yes.
And, you know, I did everything I could to make the most out of it, like trained my butt off going into Dakar, and thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
That it actually worked out.
Totally.
But you, man, to get there and then be out your first day, that would have been a huge bummer. You know, like that whole investment, everything I put into it would have been like worth nothing, like for nothing, to be honest.
Here's the thing: your car burns down in the desert. There's no fucking insurance.
No.
How many people?
$250,000 car burns down, and you're watching it burn. There's no one is buying your car.
Yeah.
How many people come out with you to a race like that?
So Dakar, it's really, really difficult to have support. So you basically, that's why it costs so much, because I have to pay to basically be a part of a team and rent a vehicle. So I brought my core people. So I brought one of my best friends, Cynthia, who like handles a lot of the PR and then also with strategic stuff and making sure, like, she speaks French and it's a French rally. Nice. So like making sure I don't miss any information that I might be needing. Key. And then I brought my builder, my mechanic from here at home, who I just totally believe in, and he absolutely killed it. And so I could then relieve myself off of one less to do on my side, having someone I trust work on the car.
Yes.
And so then I can just focus on driving. And then I had my navigator, Jeremy. So that was like my small team within this big team there. Yeah. But Dakar itself is absolutely insane. It's a moving city. And our team, the one that I paid to be on, there's probably 150 people on it.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's huge. And then also just to be in the bivouac, like, you know, you go to a race and you get like a pit pass or something, and it's like, who knows how much it costs, like maybe $150 at the most, right? Well, in Dakar, you're paying like $6,000 just to be able to enter the gate. So it's not like spectator, you know, friendly basically sport. And it's just because you are in the middle of nowhere and you're traveling bivouac to bivouac, place to place. And, you know, it's not really accessible or for the you know, it's not like a glamping environment, to say the least.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. So when you're driving, where do you because you have to at some point stop to shut your eyes and get some sleep? Are you just camping out there?
2 nights we do go and we just camp out in the middle of the race course. Wow. So like they give us a stopping point, and like full and I sleep in my race suit. They hand me a tent and pitch my tent, have a ration.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and we just out there underneath the stars, just in the dunes, and I loved it. I absolutely loved that part of it.
Yeah.
But when we're at the bivouac and we actually make it back from a stage, me and the 4 people I brought shared a really tiny motorhome. And we were seriously like sleeping on top of each other. It was so tight in that thing, but we made do, so...
Damn.
It's a family out there. You know, you're trapped sometimes in the desert for 8, 9, 10 hours before the crew can get to you.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you're driving and they can't bring a trailer, and if they can, they're coming in at 15 miles an hour compared to her doing the 60 or 80 or 100 miles an hour. So it takes 10 hours just to get to her. You know what I mean? You start a fire, you have marshmallows. Hopefully you got some cigarettes if you're a smoker. You know?
Yeah, this year they did this.
People often smokers that race?
Well, I like to smoke while I raced.
Really?
Smoke what?
Cigarette.
What?
I
Back
could
in the day.
never understand that. Like, you're
smoked a
so
cigarette.
hot out there, and then you're
Yeah.
just gonna light
I
up a
didn't even know
cigarette.
you ever smoke
I
a
used to smoke
cigarette.
cigarettes. So you're in line waiting for the start. You smoking a cigarette,
That's weird, dude.
Or a race.
throwing it through the net.
Oh my God, you watched many movies.
You know?
Oh,
Obviously, that's what I listen. When you're sitting there at Loretto, or you're sitting just in Mexico there, and everyone's car is on and the lights on, and you're dripping wet, you think, "Wow, what the fuck? I'm right here."
yeah.
You know, it's a crazy feeling. All you hear, boom, 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 and your driver there, hey, yeah, checking this, check that, breaker 19, yeah. It's crazy. You know, what a fucking life. Good for you, man. Yeah, it's so exciting.
When you were doing that race, so at the break times that you would have to, say either work on the car or get some shut eye, were you like checking in with your boyfriend or your parents or anything, letting them know how things were going, or were you just like basically off the grid for those 15 days?
So actually, Ricky, my boyfriend, he is the first American to ever win Dakar.
Oh wait, that's right. You said that you guys got it at the what?
So he's racing the same time I was racing.
Power couple.
And he actually won this year.
Oh.
So like, yeah,
Wow.
It was pretty cool to be there actually and like see him
Together,
win.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we both like had a talk before we went, because obviously we're not there to like have a honeymoon, right?
Sure.
We're both there to do business and do the best we can in our race and our programs, because we're on separate programs.
Yeah.
And so of course, like the first thing we both did when we get back is check the standings, make sure how he did and how he wanted to check on me. I would always get back later than him because I'm in the cars where he's on the bikes. So they start a lot earlier than I do.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it was, so like we go off of a road book. So like a scroll. So I'll have to show you some notes. You would totally trip out on how the road books work, but it's navigational based. And so we get a heading, we get a note, we get our kilometers, and we get our distance. And so we are not allowed to have GPSs or anything. So,
holy smokes.
Yeah. And so Ricky does all that on the dirt bike, which is insane.
It's
like
insane.
while
By
pushing
by himself.
Yeah.
I don't understand what he's doing. He's navigating. He's looking for little rocker, that fucking
Yeah, I'm
little
getting
turtle.
lost.
Yeah.
I'm getting lost. I'm fucked.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
And then,
I'm
then
sending
he's
out,
got to
like,
watch a tree
SOS
or
to me.
or a guy's walking down or a pedestrian.
Oh yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, he doesn't know what's coming. Like you don't get to
Dude,
pre-run
what?
this.
Oh,
like
yeah.
so you're trying to go as fast as you can without knowing what's coming and making
in
sure
the
you're going
sand.
the right way.
In the sand.
Yeah. And so the funny thing is that the dirt bikes start first, right? So there's this whole strategic play as a dirt biker because
Oh my gosh.
you don't want to be the one wasting your energy doing the navigation. And so you usually try to have someone in front of you. So you don't want to get first every day because you want to be behind and get time. And so he would start and open a lot of the days because he was doing so good. And then all the cars and everyone end up following the line.
His trail, yeah.
And so when he was opening this one day and we were coming into the dunes and all of a sudden we make a left and it's like we're supposed to be going right. Our heading is totally going right. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, hopefully we know where we're going, because when we have tracks, it also messes you up. So it's one thing if you have tracks and they're correct, but once they're wrong, you don't know when you got off because you're not the one that made that decision to alter the route. So it's kind of like you're always like debating, am I lost or am I not? Is this track right or not? But that day when I got back, and it ended up going left and going right because he didn't want to go straight through the big dunes. And it was Ricky who made that decision. So I get back and I'm like, babe, like, why did you go all the way left to go right? Like, we were so confused and I didn't know if I was lost or not. And he's like, well, yeah, if you looked at the heading, you would have just gone through all these big old dunes. And like, I didn't want to go through those dunes. So I just went through the valley and then came back. And then I was like, oh, okay. So that dynamic was really cool from a competitor standpoint to get to like kind of pick his brain when I actually just got done racing that.
Yeah.
To see like why you did that, because I'm still pretty new at this. You know, it was my first Dakar. That's absolutely insane to me that I'm like trying to figure it all out as I'm going too, you know? So
I mean, talk about
Motorcycle guys are the best navigators because their eyes like.
How are you navigating?
Well,
Like,
their eyes are like 20 feet in front of them all the time, or 100 feet in front, or however. Just
are you on like a compass on your watch?
yes. Well, no. So we have these things called like ICOs, and they tell you the heading. So it's a degree 0 through 360, and so you basically you're told like, okay, for 4 kilometers you need to go on a heading of 12, and so you need to be at 12
My
degrees.
heart is beating.
Yes.
But it's super hard to stay on 12 degrees when you're going through big old dunes and all this
and
stuff.
like you're not. You're not going
exactly.
12 miles an hour.
No, when
Exactly.
you're driving for safety, and the navigator's telling her, take a quick left. You got to get back 20 degrees to the right. When you have time, get over. We're off schedule. So
And this is where your mind has to be fully in this, because if your mind wanders or goes somewhere else, you're
Well, you
in
gotta
some
figure
other
she's
dune.
in the boonies, bro. She
Yeah.
could take a dune and
She's
and she's dropping 20 feet.
No, I
to her,
know.
you know what I'm saying? No. It's
That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
Nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
can
not-
literally end up on some other dune in
Yeah.
some other place,
Yes,
and where it's like,
yes.
whoa.
Next thing you know, you see what you think is a water mirage.
You have hallucinations out there.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
how crazy.
Yeah.
Wild.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's called a road book. I'll show you after we get done. You'll trip out for
Yeah.
sure. It's like gibberish, and then it's like you have the 1-note road books that are really easy, and then you go to Dakar and you have like 3 notes in one. And you're like, all right. So
Wow.
yeah, it's interesting.
That,
Yeah, and the book's going to say at mile marker number whatever 1,000, don't take a left because you're going to go bad.
Yeah.
You know, you have to stay right off that side. So it has different markers in there for the navigator. It's it's pretty wild.
With little pictures.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
danger.
so horrifying. to me.
Danger. Yeah.
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 I'm like,
So
I
it's
just see
very-
his brain.
I mean,
just-
it's a lot. No, because now, I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking, tracks.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you think that
I rode motorcycles.
Yeah.
I was thinking tracks.
for sure, but then when you think about it, so like let's say you have 3 notes in your road book and they're really fast, right? You have a left, right. But then if you were to look like this is where the dirt bikes are really good, they look at the headings on each one of those notes and they realize they skip ahead like to the 5th note. They're like, oh, on average, we're going about the same way. So then now all those turns just got cut out because they just got smarter and they just went straight instead. So now us in the cars, if we were to figure out where we're at on that when we knew that they went straight or we didn't know they went straight, it's like we're trying to find all these turns that don't exist anymore. So then we're off and we don't
Oh
know where
my
we are on the
goodness.
notebook.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're not thinking like that person that first made that line, it's really difficult because
Sure.
then you are just at a big chance of getting lost and you're not knowing where you are when you do get lost.
for sure.
And it happens a lot.
Oh,
Do you ever get lost?
All the time.
oh really?
Oh, yeah. Well, for 3 minutes at a time, 4 minutes at a time, yeah.
Yeah.
Only the Nor I would get lost because I only did best in the desert, and those races are pretty straightforward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vegas, Torino's a little tougher, but they're pretty straightforward. You're following dust.
Yeah.
Oh,
As
that's
long as you're not
horrifying
first.
too.
Yeah, you can't
Can't
see a
really
lot
see
of
it.
What
I
happens if you're first?
If you're first, then you're good because your navigator's nice. But if you're second, you're coming up on cars. I mean, you could explain to them how it is passing. It's
Yeah.
a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, the dust
don't
sucks.
see- yeah.
Dust sucks. Just
Yeah.
in general, let's just be honest. But yeah, you have the dust and you just have to make a pass. And if you get stuck
Oh
in
my
it, you
goodness.
just, yeah.
You got to get off the track, and sometimes they'll move over, sometimes they won't. But you
Yeah.
don't see 3 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
That's what's
And
cool
then-
about Baja, though,
Yeah.
because you can pre-run so much.
Yeah.
You can come up with lines that like, hey, I'll probably be in some dust here. If not, I'm going to make an alternate line here so I can be like,
Yeah.
I'm going to jump off. I'm going to make a quick pass here.
Now, how's the sand in Dakar compared to the sand in Mexico? 'Cause you get stuck out here. There's
It's about the same. I would say the dunes are just way bigger. It's
Yeah.
like everything in Saudi is just bigger. Like
Yeah.
we have good rocks in America, like good rocks, right? They have horrible rocks over there. It's like
Sharp.
lava. That's just
Yeah.
like these really
Wow.
like just jaggedy, huge boulders that haven't been rounded down because they haven't been driven on or nothing's been beat up on them. So it's like, yeah, I've never seen rocks and dunes the way that they do. Like I'm looking at dunes like that are like a mile long, and I'm like,
Damn.
how am I gonna go up that? But you just don't even question it. You just go, and yeah.
It's wild.
Does anybody film like did you bring up anybody to film you doing this whole 15-day race or no?
Yeah. So, well, the organization themselves is the ASO, so
Okay.
it's who also hosts the Tour de France.
Oh,
So they own Dakar and they own Tour de France, and so it's a huge production company.
Yeah.
Really. So all over TV, they're filming all the action and all that. But then also my sponsor Can-Am, for the side by side I'm
Amazing.
in, they sponsor or they filmed all the behind the scenes.
Sick.
So they actually documented my whole entire
Dude,
journey while I
dope.
was there.
I never thought that I would have that much appreciation and love for like Can-Ams at all until I moved to Texas. They're
Yeah.
the shit. Our neighbor came over in a Can-Am that was like sick,
Yeah.
like souped up, like
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these are the dopest things ever.
They really are.
You're able to like, just like move around. They have like
Can-Am's came up pretty big
kids.
against the Razor with the Polaris. It's with 10,
Oh, yeah,
15
the
years
Razor
ago
too,
they came
yeah.
up. Yeah, really
yeah.
big. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
it's
racing, they got in quick.
yeah. They're fast.
Yeah.
They're an awesome
Yeah.
machine.
Yeah.
But that's what you're gonna get put in. I'm gonna put you in a Can-Am. I have 2 right now at my house. So yeah, whenever you're free, you're gonna come down.
Wow.
All right,
That's
I'll do
awesome.
it for
Yeah,
sure.
may as well.
Yeah, you'll have
Good
a
time.
blast.
Yeah, but, maybe Can-Am will hook a girl up and have them for out in Texas too.
Yeah,
So I
for
can-
working.
So I can work.
Mhm.
Drive to, because I do all the lawn.
Are you allowed to
the
drive
lawn.
like in Arizona? You can drive the Can-Am anywhere. As long
Anywhere.
As you, got a
You
license plate
can't
on it.
actually. Our neighbors, like our little area, like they'll drive them on like the weekends down to like the coffee shop
Okay,
and like the
nice. I
local
like
like
that, yeah.
downtown. But I want to just do it because I do the weed eating and I mow the lawn and stuff.
Yeah.
So just like maneuvering in there because it's like
Yeah.
annoying to take like the truck
Yeah.
because then
Emily, is this TV on? Can you? Turn it on?
We want to see. We want a visual.
Yeah, I do. I want to pull up her Instagram. or
especially
something.
because for anybody that's listening, can they watch you like obviously it's already done, but Can-Am had filmed it all, so
Mhm.
they could watch the behind. Is it on their YouTube channel?
I
Or-
don't. They're planning to do something with it soon.
Oh, they
I
haven't
just-
dropped it.
Nah, they haven't dropped it yet.
I know it's
so-
always like that. It's
I
like
know.
such a massive delay.
Yeah.
But that's sick. I'm like excited for them to put that together because obviously 1, they're a great company. 2, they're a great company with some dollars. So I already know the production is gonna be sick.
Yeah. The guy who does it, Josh, he absolutely kills it too. So it's kind of like a friend who filmed
Oh, okay.
for them, and so it just worked out perfect.
Oh
but-
my god! And they filmed the behind the scenes of it.
Mhm.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. Like honestly, he was there. Like when mornings I'm waking up and I'm like, he goes, "Can I come in yet?" And I'm like, like getting ready to head out.
Oh,
like, trying
dope.
to
So
run to
like
get
that.
the
Yeah.
coffee. Yeah,
Did you ever have like a moment of like mental breakdown during those 15 days of just like kind of losing it?
Yes, I did. I would have to say the second to last stage. So we had 14 stages over the whole rally, right?
Okay.
And I was doing very well for my first year. By itself is just incredible how well we were doing. Like I was running top 3, top 2 a lot of the time. And so on stage 12, the second to last stage, which is really the stage that's a make it or break it, I got word at the halfway mark that I potentially could win it because a competitor got penalized who was beating me. And at this time, I didn't have any spare tires, and I was like, all right, because I had hit a big rock, and it was all my fault. Hit the big rock 30 kilometers in. Hadn't got a flat the entire rally,
Shut
but
up.
I ended up breaking a wheel from hitting this huge rock. And so I didn't have any spares. So then I learned that you might win if you push hard and you take the chance.
God.
Like, what do? You know,
Mhm.
do you take the chance and you go for the win? Or do you just roll around and get a guaranteed podium spot, right? Well, as the racer I
push
am,
it.
of course you're
Yep.
going to try to get the win, right? So I got in the car with my navigator. I'm like, Jeremy, what do you think we do? And he goes, I think we go for the win. I'm like, all right. We made a deal with the partner, not a partner, but a competitor who had a spare tire. He gave me one. And he actually took a time penalty, but he wasn't no longer in the running to be
Oh, okay.
competitive. So he pulled over, had given me his wheel and tire. So I had at least
That was
one.
nice.
Yeah, and then I went for it, and I ended up getting another flat.
Shut up.
Yeah, I got 2 more. So then I had to run on flats, and then eventually when you're just dragging a car through rocks, you are breaking things.
Yes.
So then everything just starts to break, and it just is this whole freaking ball of just things happening over and over again. And I'm sitting there like my whole world's just crushed, and I'm like thinking like, what can I do in this moment to make this better? And I'm just doing what I can, but there's nothing else I can really do unless I had parts or things given to me from competitors. And so I'm just going with it. And I just remember driving and I'm bawling my eyes out, and I'm just like, my whole Dakar is gone. Like I just went 14 days in such a premium place in this race, and now I'm just threw it all away. And I just was like, did I really just ruin my chance at the podium because I was so selfish of wanting to get that freaking win? And he's just like, I'm going through my head. Just what the heck am I doing? Like, did I just what an idiot?
Yeah.
And, that was a pretty heartbreaking day. And a lot of people saw it because they definitely highly shown that
Oh, I'm
part.
sure.
But, everyone's like so pumped and proud for me to be in the position to even have a chance to go for the win is just absolutely insane.
For sure.
And everyone's like, why are you so bummed? Like, you killed it. What are you talking about? I was like, I know. I just, I went for the win and then I lost the podium. So I ended up getting 4th and I lost the podium because of going for the win.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? As the famous words of Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
Like,
Totally.
I agree.
Yep.
I'm more proud of you for going for the win.
Thank
Me
you.
too.
Like,
Thank you.
Yes, because she has balls of steel.
I can't believe you quoted Ricky Bobby.
I was waiting for you to do it, dude.
I was thinking about it, but I was like, no.
Ricky Bobby was your quote.
We just showed him the other day.
Right?
Yeah.
So on your Instagram page, what can we look at that?
Let's go to Road to Dakar right
Yeah,
there.
you
Or
go.
Dakar.
Can we click on that?
Go a little lower in the reels. Might be able to find something good down there.
I'm coming right back. I have to go. I should have used it.
Where are you going?
Go a little lower. That's from our last race. That's all Dakar stuff right there. So if you go up a little bit.
Keep going up.
Yeah, all
Right
that's
there
Dakar.
with the wood. Right there with 14,000. See the sand?
Yeah, see my eyes where I'm crying?
Where are you crying?
That's after the race.
Oh.
When I realized I didn't make
Click
it
on the
happen,
sand one.
get the podium.
Is that just a picture? Or?
This is just
That's inside.
a little flex for BF Goodrich, our tires. They're the best. Honestly, toughest tires in the game. But yeah, that's the end of the rally, is that one where I'm covering my face. That's when we won. That's just explaining when we pulled off the stage win, which we didn't try to do. I honestly was like, that wasn't the goal at all. I never even had that in my head. We just went out that day and had a really clean run, and then we were like, wow, that's cool. We won today.
So that's what you raced right there.
Yep, that was the ending. But that's a cool one right there. No, to the right. That's the end. That's our recap, basically, of all Dakar.
And how fast are you going in that thing?
I can't, man. They're fast. They can go up to 100 miles an hour. But in that race, super actually funny. I have a speed limit.
In that race?
In that race, in Dakar, I have a speed limit.
What?
Yeah. I can only go 125 kph.
What is that?
Well, kph, kilometers.
Oh,
so
God.
it's like
kilometers
80.
per hour.
Girl, I'm going to have to come out and see you so you could just, like, teach me
yeah.
some of the lingo, everything.
Yeah. So that's pretty much like, about 80 miles an hour. And they do that because they want to keep the class equal. But then also, too, you have Can-Am coming in with these machines that are pretty affordable, right?
Yeah.
And they're beating these millions and $1 million programs. And they're like, we can't have it. We can't have these golf carts basically beating our
right?
$1 million machine.
So true.
So they limit it to us. So now we have to be a little bit slower, which it sucks because the whole time you're racing, I'm seriously looking at that speedo and I'm just like,
what happens if you go over it?
a lot of penalties.
Penalties. Yeah.
Everything's a penalty in FIA. So it's like know your stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's how you literally like will lose podium.
Oh, yeah.
By just like some dumb little penalty that is.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to play the game now.
Yeah.
It's all about playing the game. But yeah, all the stuff below that one of me with my hands over my face is all Dakar. That's all stuff after Dakar.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's all Dakar.
Wow.
So if you go to this one where I give you guys a tour of the bivouac, so that's our home every night. So the one we're at right there to the left. There you go. Yeah. So this is like a tour of what it's like every single day in the bivouac and our setup. And it'll show you the motorhome and everything. And that's my mechanic, Mitch, builds my cars here. Also racing development. He's absolutely amazing. Such an incredible person. He just had a baby too. So like
Oh, wow.
he went there and stayed a whole month and like had a newborn at home.
Oh my God, you were out there a month? Well,
Yeah.
because you were racing 15 days, so then you had to get out there. Wow.
Yeah. So this is all like catering and everything.
And how hot is it there?
It's about the same as here.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Well, not the ocean side, but like deserts where I live. So it's like hot during the day, but then it's pretty cold in the morning and night.
How many racers? Or how many competitors?
800.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's huge. It is absolutely huge. So that's our physios, massage. And then we take you to our home away from home.
Oh, this is where
That's
you,
it
this
right
is where
there?
you guys, this is where you, the four of you were basically.
Usually it's only 2 people per motorhome.
Yeah.
But we're like, well, I'm not going to make you guys tent it. Okay?
Yeah.
But a motorhome there is $30,000 to rent. So I was like, I
Yeah, and
can't
I'm
afford
not
another
paying-
one.
yeah.
So, yeah, this is pretty much it. That's one of our competition. AJ, he's American. He's awesome. And that was our little motorhome.
Wow. Yeah, you guys are all snuggled up.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. It's
How
it's crazy.
awesome. Good for you.
Thank
Like,
you.
damn. That is intense.
Yeah. It is, to say the least. It's a whole nother machine
Yeah.
when it comes to Dakar at the top.
Are you jealous, Shane?
I'm a little jealous. Yeah, I'm a little jealous.
Yeah,
I
you're.
am. I love it. There's nothing like being out there in the course, finishing, having dinner with the guys or the girls. It's a team. You wake up in the morning, everyone's talking.
Yeah.
It's just, it's fucking unbelievable. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Are your days
Are
over?
they over? No, Marin wants them back. I'm not going to lie. My wife wants them back.
Yay! Well, no, they're gonna
Did-
come back. I already
did
told
she
you
ever
guys.
go-
I'm
yeah.
setting you
go-
up.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
she
Oh,
go?
every day. Every race Marin was at. Are you fucking kidding me? She was with the guys.
The
under
kids?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. She came to every race. Every fucking.
Did you have a motorhome?
No. Well, yeah, we did. Yeah, of course. We had one. The guys had one. Yeah.
Yeah.
My team. Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's what's so
Yeah.
cool. Like in racing at home in America, like I have my team, SP Motorsports, and like my mom is the caterer. Like
Oh
my
my
mom
God, that's
cooks for
awesome.
everyone.
That's awesome.
And so like then I have my builder out there, and then he has clients who he builds cars for, and he
Yeah.
pits
Yeah.
for them.
yeah.
So they come, and it's just like this whole family
It's a whole
vibe
family,
and
yeah, man.
environment. It's
Yeah.
just so much fun and laid back. Like, and nothing's like that besides off road. Like,
Yeah.
there's just a special thing about off road racing
Yeah.
that you don't get it in any other form of racing.
Mhm.
And
We need a car.
Yeah,
We need a
car.
Hopeaholics. I can already see this logo on the front.
It's 40 grand. You could get a car for 40 grand set up beautiful.
hold on. I say we have a Baja Bug,
Ooh.
Volkswagen.
Ooh, I could know. I come not with my back.
He's-
How about-
He's like,
you fucking kidding
my
me?
kidneys hurt.
That 10
already.
hours takes gonna take 25 hours now to get the Baja Bug. I'm not doing the Baja Bug. No chance. No, fuck that. I can't do
Oh,
it.
I have a Baja.
I'm spoiled.
Baja Bug hurts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No
Oh, yeah.
suspension.
No
you just
suspension.
bounce off everything.
Yeah.
Oh my
Fucked
god.
up.
It's a really good experience.
It is.
We
It
need
is.
something for the
So I did-
for the 50 over class.
Oh, there you go. I did.
Hey,
the-
that doesn't exist in driving.
No, it doesn't.
No, I know it's fine. We just need something that'll a little bit smoother.
But no, we'll get you guys in the Can-Am. I think that would be awesome. I'm gonna come up with a race when you guys are free, and we're gonna put you in it, and we're just gonna let you go.
I was so early with the side by sides. My first Nora, there's only 3 razors. There was only 3 side by sides. I was one of the 3. It was 2016. Side by sides didn't even start going yet.
Yeah,
There was only 3 of us. We did the Nora 1000. Yeah, I came in 3rd place.
that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, there was only 3. But
That's
I mean, I
so
feel like I
exciting.
could do okay on that because racing is
Yeah, you could
racing
okay.
is racing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. We
You
should
know,
do the Nora.
it's a-
Wait,
man.
but
It's a
sand.
mindset. What?
It's in sand.
Yeah, well, no.
Honest to God, for me, that's where I'm comfortable. That's why,
Sand?
like, I ride my Harley like I'm riding on the dirt. I'm
Wait,
going
you
around
don't
the
have
corner.
You don't have a Harley right now.
No, Donna
Okay.
made me sold it.
Yeah. Makes-
Yeah, let's do it.
Well,
Dirt
it's
fest.
sand, dirt.
Yeah, sand, dirt. It's fun.
That's what I'm worried about.
Bristles. When you go through certain areas, you got fucking. They puncture tires.
Yeah, you gotta pick. Yeah,
They
you gotta
puncture
take care of your
You
tires.
got
Yeah.
pins out there. It's fucking so fun. We
Let's
gotta do
go.
Dirtfish.
But
Let's
we're
start
on
it.
BF Goodrich because it's the best tire by far, and like people might just say that because they're a sponsor or
Sure.
something. But like I seriously am with them because of it. If you do not have like the best tires on your vehicle, like in off-road racing, you are at a big
You're fucked.
deficit.
Yeah.
Like
They changed a lot the last 5 years of tires too. They used to be a lot
Yeah.
rounder, squarer.
yeah,
Yeah.
and now like there's I would say there's like 2 top companies and. But still nothing like if you're on a truck and you don't have BFGs on it, you like kind of are like, well, okay, I know I'm probably going to be getting them because they're going to have a flat
Yeah.
if they're
Oh,
not on the same
shit.
tire. Yeah. So it's like a big deal, like tires. So you learn how to like save them. and that's to not like slide into corners. And basically you want to, like, a car is always made to go straight. So
Yeah.
if you are ever sideways in your vehicle and you let go of that steering wheel, that car will always end up going straight.
Yeah. When in
Oh.
doubt, throttle out, baby.
That's the motto,
the
right?
motto.
Yeah.
When in
When in
doubt,
fucking
gas it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Just
When
go
in
right
doubt,
through.
remember that.
When in doubt, throttle
When in
out.
doubt,
Throttle out.
throttle
then-
out.
But no, let go of the wheel.
No.
No.
No. I was just saying
No.
the car will always end up going straight. Don't do that.
When in doubt, let
I
go
am
of the
not
wheel.
fucking driving with
Let go.
Natalie.
Gas it and let go of the wheel.
I'm not driving with Natalie.
Huh?
I'm not driving with Natalie.
I
No
I
way.
What are you talking about? I drove in the horrible weather in
I'm
Florida,
not
and
driving.
I killed
no,
it.
You did. You killed it. You killed it. You killed it.
not as good as our
Dirt
Uber
fish,
driver.
Dirt fish, and then Nora. I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in.
What's it cost to
Nora,
race that one?
Nora's 3,500 entrance free, and you need the car.
I still am like
Let's go.
really, really tripped out that like
10 grand for
anybody
Nora total.
can enter these races.
Yeah.
Anybody.
It's
That's scary to
As long as
me.
you got
That's
money.
like literally Wild Wild West.
I'm trying to get my sponsorship from Monster, so
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I got to do something.
They
I
might-
don't know
they
that
might-
they're
they
gonna
might
sponsor.
They might throw you a little sponsor.
Are they going to sponsor a podcast? Because do they have any podcasts? That
Monster?
They, sponsor?
Monster.
Yeah, they do.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They have good. You guys, their roster's fat.
No, I know a lot. They're really fat.
They have a
I've always
pretty-
wanted to be
pretty
sponsored
thick.
by Monster.
Yeah, it's good.
I just never did anything like as an adult to be sponsored by Monster for
Yeah.
until now.
well.
All I did was drug and alcohol treatment.
Well, now you need to go racing, and
I
you
can
need to
race.
become
There you go.
the
I'm
guy.
gonna be
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Oh, guy,
the
you need to win some races.
just one.
Huh.
And then I'm gonna be calling up. Who do you guys call?
I'm not kidding you though. I'm like, this is a real thing. This isn't just like a, oh yeah, call me anytime.
Yes, you're in
like,
Arizona,
No,
Oh,
right?
yeah, no,
You're in
I'm-
Arizona.
yeah. This,
How often
this is
are
a
you in
real
California?
invite. Like,
No, we're gonna go to
you're
her.
racing.
We're gonna go to her.
Yeah, and you're racing.
Yeah,
like,
I'll do it.
Her.
This is happening. This
Yeah.
isn't like if,
I'm
or
in.
this isn't like
I'm
a
in.
fake one. It's like, no, you're actually racing. I'm setting this up.
I'm in.
I'll
Okay.
do it.
I'm in. I mean, I've never
You
raced
need to
on
ask
sand, but
Jonathan
I don't care.
first.
Jonathan will just make sure that as long as
Him
I'm
and Ricky
in-
get along already.
Yeah,
They just
exactly.
hang
Exactly. As long as I'm in.
Cars are pretty safe.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Jonathan's question gonna be
know.
because you know
They're safe.
Yeah, the cars
They're
are
very
pretty
safe.
Yeah. It's called a helmet. I'll wear a helmet.
Oh, you have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I will be dialing you in. You're gonna have
Oh,
a
yeah.
head neck restraint. You're not gonna be able to move in that car.
Oh my.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have the time of your life.
Yeah,
You
no, for
honestly
sure.
will
Because
love it.
Shane.
I'm not sure I'm riding with Natalie either.
I got all the stuff.
That's
I
fine.
got
You guys
the
don't have
harness,
to.
You can't move
I'll
your
see
head
you.
anywhere.
You guys will
Beautiful.
be trailing me.
We're gonna
Cool.
have to figure out.
Eat my dust, bozos.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna have a time of
Eat
your
my
life.
da- What if we all become professional racers?
Okay, calm down. I mean, I did say.
I mean, I like
did
taking
say
things
reach for the
extreme,
stars,
man.
But I'm realistic over here,
Huh?
Hey, SP Motorsports might just have you part of the team.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
guys.
We're in. We're,
I mean,
we're
I'll
doing this.
definitely. I'm down to race.
You're gonna try it one time and you might excel.
Have you ever heard of
Shane's
Sean
already
Have you ever heard of Sean
excelled.
Hoagland?
Uh-uh.
No. Okay. YT Motorsports? No.
YT.
How
I know
about Cash
YT.
Vessels?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know why I don't know
That's
his
okay.
name.
No, they're older because we're older.
Oh.
Because we're older. That's why. That's why we're fucking old.
She knows a lot of
Yeah,
older
she knows,
people.
yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
I mentioned
Yeah.
is over 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the dirt
Now-
bikers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all over
Yeah.
50 now.
Yeah, it is interesting, huh?
It's crazy.
I feel like it's a small
My
world.
my wife was her boyfriend for many years was Scummy Morrison.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
I know Scummy a little bit, not too much, but yeah, I feel like he moved close to out here somewhere.
He's in I don't know where. Last I heard he was like in the chat.
Following his ex.
Hey, you better be worried, man.
I'm panicking.
He's right down
Yeah.
the street.
Panicking.
No, it's gonna be awesome. I'll take you out for a day. I'll try
Yeah.
to teach you like the
Yeah.
ropes, the basics, and then we'll get you in some laps, and then after that,
Yeah.
you're just gonna be ready.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm down.
It's gonna be a good time.
Be ready.
You might just beat us.
Never. Never. Well, maybe. I can't say never. I can't see it though.
Why?
I'm pretty good. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm very careful. I'm cautious. Safety first.
Yeah,
See,
right.
and that's where I'm not.
Safety first.
That's exactly. I'm
I'm truly, I truly am.
I've
before
rolled every
anything.
car I've drove. I roll. I've rolled every car I've driven.
Look at what you've done.
yeah.
I mean, we're all competitors.
Yeah,
we
we're
even
going.
we
We're
com-
coming.
we
Yeah.
compete for mic
Yeah.
time
Oh, I love
constantly.
it.
all the time.
Put the
It's
camera in
crazy.
front of these two, and I'm out.
Yeah,
Like
that is true. It is always constant competition. But
Shane will push her out of the way. Like when we're
Yeah.
doing like reels and stuff, she's gone.
yeah,
Shane's in the
It's gonna
camera.
be a good time for us.
no,
It'd be a lot of fun,
It'll
dude.
be fun.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of fun,
Sweet.
and I feel like it might give you that little extra spark that you've been looking for.
Yeah,
Think a Sparko Spark. Yeah.
yeah. You
Spark
need,
goes
I think.
spark.
Yeah,
I'm in. I'm in.
you need that little
I'm in.
extra.
Adrenaline.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need the adrenaline. You're right. It's been a minute.
Mhm.
Might break out a Baja Bug just for you guys to try it.
I'll definitely try
I'll
it.
try it.
Yeah.
They just make you smile. Like you just see
Yeah.
a Baja Bug and you just like can't help but smile and just also feel bad for whoever has to race it.
Yeah.
So let me
I'm
ask
down.
you, the Baja Bugs though, don't they roll easy?
You can't go fast
Uh,
enough.
No,
Huh?
no, you can.
Oh, you can't.
I almost did.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
And I just was too wheeling it.
Jesus.
Oh,
I got it back
damn.
down. I was actually a video of it.
Holy fuck! Yeah.
But yeah, you could get yourself into trouble. But on the whoops, you just look at the whoops and you just are like, oh, dang it. That sucks. Those are coming. Like, I have to
Oh
go
my
through
God.
those in this thing right now. But
Damn.
Yeah. The whoops
Yeah,
are
it'll be a good
bad.
time.
The whoops are bad. Boom, 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 boom. Well, you can't.
Have you
Yeah.
have you ever Indo on the whoops on?
oh, yeah. I go to Indonesia all the time. That's what I call it. Not too long ago, we were actually getting ready for the Mint 400, and I was just testing the car out in Vegas. And yeah, it was like the sun was going down, but we had to drive it because I blew up the engine the week before, and it was kind of like last minute. We didn't know it blew up. And so then we like rushed to get a new engine put in it. And I just full on was like trying to get just a little bit off of something and just full on went to the nose. And I'm like, wow,
Oh my
almost went
God.
to Indonesia right there. Like, I haven't felt like that for a while.
Have you ever been to Indonesia
No.
before?
Uh-uh.
No, you've never Indoed on anything.
That means what? Flip over my car?
So like the front, where
yeah.
you like on a dirt bike or anything, where it kind of kicks you forward and you're like stuck in this like endo.
Oh, I don't think so.
I've done full. I've got broken
Oh, yeah,
bones
same.
from endos.
Hence why Donna made you sell your bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bike's no good.
Yeah.
Bike's no good.
Well, I'm too old for a bike. You know
Bikes you get expired. Yeah.
that
Bike.
you get hurt on a motorcycle.
You do.
In a car, you can ride till you're 60, 70, 80 years old.
Oh, for sure.
80?
Yeah.
You got guys.
Who's-
Bus,
who's-
Gary Buss.
Who?
He used to drive the 10 car, the owner of the Lakers.
Lakers?
I used to rally him all the time.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
drive off road like
Yeah.
pretty. Probably end up going slower eventually, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 80, probably racing at least something.
Something.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
that's,
sure.
That's the goal.
Now I'm excited.
Yeah, I
does
know.
God,
I'm
where,
excited.
where
I'm
does
like
God
kinda
play a
nervous.
role in your life?
I'm a big believer in God, and I actually, when I was younger and I did go to school, I was like begging my parents to let me go to Christian school right down the street where we lived, and they're kind of like, huh? I'm like out of nowhere,
How
as a little
funny.
girl, and
Yeah.
I think I pray before every race. I have like a good luck necklace, and like I was talking to you before this, I recently just had my aunt and my grandmother die within 6 months, and her ashes got put into this little charm, and I keep this one necklace, and it's like I have a charm from my mom, I have a charm from my boyfriend, my grandma, my aunt, and then my first boyfriend I ever had. I was like young. I was like 11 or 12. Like when you stand 20 feet
Sure.
away from each
Yeah,
other,
yeah.
you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, he died on the motorcycle too,
Oh,
and they started a foundation which Buddy Antonez is now running,
wow.
Brett Downey Foundation. So Brett Downey, and they have a cross that he always had on it. And it was called "Let God Steer." And
Wow.
so, yeah, that's like my good luck charm. I bring everywhere with me, and even in the FIA, I got in trouble for wearing it. As crazy as that is, you're not allowed to have any jewelry on, and they caught me wearing it.
Oh,
And so like, I have to take it off, and I hide it in my race car, like secretly. But yeah, my family was very religious, and we definitely are. We believe in the path of Jesus, and
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That is awesome.
yeah,
That is
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Great question, Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. That came out of, I'm impressed.
I got some angels with me now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, you
like,
do.
this
Yeah,
next
yeah.
race, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
like, okay, Ready, team?
Yeah,
right.
seriously, you got them
Yeah,
ready to rock with you for sure.
Yeah.
we got a couple here too, and that's what I was going to tell you. When
yeah.
we were off air, the reason why this podcast started is because on this September 11th of 2022, my 22-year-old daughter found her fiance dead from fentanyl.
No way.
And yeah, and that's when God had put it on my heart to be the voice for people that this fentanyl crisis is insane. 300 people are dying every single day from fentanyl, and it hit my home, and my daughter's still having a hard time recovering from it. It was her first love, her only love so far,
Yeah.
besides her daddy.
Man.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Tatum the Label?
No.
No. Super ironic because I was just telling my mom about her, and I'm not even that close to her, but I really just love what she does. And she lost her. They honestly were perfect, and they're probably about to get married type of people, like couple. He ended up dying in Lake Havasu in a side by side on the highway, driving it around. Like, you know, just what we were talking about, how you can go anywhere. And it really, you know, obviously has been tough on her, but she made this amazing company out of it. And it's about grief and losing people. And it's like about being nice and like, I wish you were here sweatshirts, but making it in a super positive way. And it's just really incredible to see like her help so many other people and be vulnerable. And like she shows like now she's in a new relationship, and you know, it's not that she's ever forgotten about him and how she has her weekdays and it never goes away, you know, but at the same time, she's made such a positive impact and always remembers him and made something to remember him every day. But you should check it out. Tatum the Label.
Definitely. We'll check it out.
Yeah, because it sounds very similar, like of a story in a way. You know, obviously it wasn't drug related, but yeah, fentanyl, man, it's so disheartening to see what the world has really come to.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like,
Not really the world, North America.
yeah,
Let's
true.
call it North America. The other
Yeah, it's really, you know, the fentanyl crisis hasn't hit
No.
Europe
Yeah,
like
They
it's hitting.
didn't even know about it
Problems
when I was in.
Yeah.
Spain.
I didn't even think about that. That is kind of crazy to think about because it comes all from Mexico.
Right. But it
China,
comes
then
from
Mexico.
China.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. The precursors are made in China, and then they're shipped to the cartels in Mexico, and then they come across the border.
Wow. Because, like, even things like, I know people were putting, like, pranks and, like, stuff on, like, gas handles and things, with fentanyl. And I'm like, why? Why are you
That's
guys
fucked up.
I
doing
know.
this to the world? Like, what's the point, you know? And you hear of the, like, good old days and movies and stuff, you know, and they did drugs back in the day on those. You can't, that's not even a thing.
Totally.
Like, don't even dabble anymore in this world.
I
Because
know.
there is no clean anything.
Yeah.
Like, and it goes all the way to food. Like,
There's
no existence of clean anything.
Totally.
Sure.
You know,
we talk about
Yeah.
we talk about food
Which
all
is
the time
like
on
the
here.
food one is like even more mind blowing to me, where I'm just like, wow, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like how?
Yeah.
Like,
Man.
crazy.
Well, good for you for, you know, standing up and being a voice for something like that. Because I feel like, you know, a lot of people, they talk about it, but maybe they don't really do something about it to talk about it where it makes a difference. And, you know, you made an effort and you took a step to make it bigger, better. And you have no idea how many lives you probably saved, but I'm sure it's a lot.
Yeah, I humbly thank you for that. Yeah, we actually get to see a lot on our DMs. And we do a meeting every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. on Zoom, which is growing rapidly. And you know, we get hundreds of DMs of people saying, I stayed sober today because of you guys.
That's cool.
That's the coolest part to me.
Yeah.
And I think to Natalie too.
It's like the best part, but I also think it also is a really cool thing too, is for people that are not addicts or alcoholics to feel, have a little bit more understanding of like whatever their position may be towards either their loved one that happens to be an alcoholic or an addict, you know, like the message like that we tried to send them to is like you have to make whatever decision. I mean, Chad, your words are better when you say it, but it's like whatever decision that they come up, what they're good with in the sense of their tolerance level of how they are going to help that individual is going to be variant upon each person. But for them to have a place to come in, like on our Tuesday night meetings, to share whatever they're going through, because it's hard for people that aren't addicts or alcoholics, trying to get the individual they love help.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's taxing on them,
It's
and they need a place
taxing.
too.
Yeah, it's taxing. You don't always know if you're doing the right thing, because addicts by nature, and not so often on purpose, but just by nature, are very manipulative and very good at convincing people that they need to give them this or give them that, and you give and you give and you give until you can't give anymore, and now you're sick because you're trying to help your loved one.
Yeah.
You know, and our place is for addicts and for the loved ones to come and get that healing and get that support, and even words of encouragement of what they should and shouldn't be doing, you know, and the words I usually say is, you know, you've got to set boundaries that you're comfortable with, you know, and that's
Whatever
different
that outcome comes to.
Yeah, and whatever the outcome is, because here's the thing: if an addict, if I'm your brother and I ask you for $20 and you give me $20 and I go buy a fentanyl pill and I die, are you going to feel guilty?
Oh, for
because
sure.
of that? If I'm your brother and I ask you for 20 and you say no, I'm not going to give you money because, you know, you're probably going to use it for drugs, and I go steal something and I die from fentanyl, you're going to feel a little bit better about the fact that at least you didn't
give them something.
Yeah.
100%.
Contribute to the, you know, to the disease.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's a confusing thing, you know, and like we were saying when we were off air, you know, like I just lost my aunt to alcoholism, you know, and it was something really hard. I'd say the last 5, I was really close to her.
Yeah.
She was the cool aunt, you know. Like her and Von Dutch were friends, and like honestly pinstriping. Like our whole family is auto body painters and businesses. And so she did touch up and she did pinstriping, and she was very talented and she was just so cool. But she always struggled. And she always struggled with being sober. And the last, I would say, 10 years, but the last 5 years, she really fell off the bandwagon, where it's like, I loved her to death, but I didn't even know who she was when she wasn't sober anymore. And it was like, I couldn't even have that relationship anymore with her, and I had to cut her off completely. And it's sad because, like, for me, you know, then I lose her. And I'm like, man, like, is there something I could have done? But I felt like I did everything I could have done to help her. But it's not up to you to do it, you know?
100%.
Like, I could walk in her footsteps and be like, well, I'm doing it for you, you know? But it doesn't work that way. She has to want to do it.
Yep.
And, you know, it was sad 'cause it was too late and she was still troubled. But the one thing is after now losing her, I didn't want to ever remember her the way that it had been recently in the last 5-10 years. And so now it's kind of interesting. I do remember her for being that cool aunt still, you know, and all those good times. But, you know, just seeing what her alcoholism and who knows whatever else she was doing did to our family. It was sad because we all loved her so much, you know, and we just all couldn't do much. And my uncle also too is recovering, and he's the one that actually hosts meetings and helps people, and so he was always trying to do his best for her. And you know, we all did the best we could, but sometimes it's just a sad case, and you're kind of confused and lost and not sure what you should have done. But you know, in the end, as long as you did the best you could and told them you loved them when you could, and
that's it. That's all you can do. I mean, I feel like that's like the thing that's the hardest is, as we all know, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And it's like, it's the same with an addict. Like, no one can make them get well. The individual has to be willing to do it themselves for them to make any type of progress or get better. And, you know, I think what now, watching the families and even my own personal family, seeing the turmoil that the individual causes on the people that they love is, I think, the hardest, because obviously, you know, parents and siblings want that person to get better, but that person is just thinking is they can't get out from underneath them.
Yeah.
And that's what is the sad part, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well, what are your meetings on Tuesdays? Where can you be on for those, or like where can you join them? Or
Oh, yeah, good question.
Zoom.
they're on Zoom.
Yeah, they're every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The link is in our link tree in the
Link is in our bio.
in the Hopeaholics bio. Right, Shane? Where's Shane? Where
Link
is the
in the
link?
bio.
The link
is in the bio.
in the link tree.
In the link tree.
Yep.
Hopeaholics IG.
We always go live every Tuesday night on Instagram as well, probably 15, 20 minutes before the meeting starts, just to get everybody
build it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We put Shane on. He gets a little crazy, gets wild,
I like to get
invites them
going.
in
I
with
like to get
love
going.
and
That's so
you
cool.
know,
Yeah.
passion.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really cool what you guys do.
No, I mean we were really excited to have you come on, and then hearing a
We're
personal.
your second race car driver. We had a good girl on, and that's what's exciting.
I'm actually friends with Amber.
Yeah, that's what's
Oh,
exciting.
really?
She lived with me for like 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
See that?
How
Oh,
crazy!
You know, we got another girl coming on next week.
I know
does
she
monster
she
trucks.
follows you too.
Monster trucks.
Race car. Can you go scroll down on her at the top?
And then Catherine
Just
just
scroll all the way to her bio.
Got time, just so you know.
Ashley Race
Racer
Girl.
Yeah.
Racer Girl
Yeah,
follows
race
you.
girl.
Okay.
She does monster trucks
she's coming in
and
next week.
Oh,
Monster
no
trucks. Yeah,
way.
yeah,
That's
I'm excited about her
badass.
too. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Badass.
and
Yeah.
Those are nuts.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Those
so
are-
nuts.
They're
that's
super
a whole
nuts.
New game.
Yeah, you talk about not being able to move in a machine. They
Yeah.
like strap you in, and you're
Yeah,
in
you
like
can barely
full
breathe.
and those
everything.
monster trucks.
Yeah.
Every time I get strapped in, I loosen it because I got trouble breathing. I get claustrophobia. Plus, I couldn't pee.
Plus, you're a big.
Oh yeah, that's a
was-
whole thing.
I couldn't.
I know.
I mean, that
I
was
had
a
to
question I
strap,
wanted
had
to
lift
ask,
up
but
like
I
this, I had to, put
Yeah.
my leg out this way. I mean, I
I'm
could.
even while
assuming
you're
you just
driving,
pee
you
at-
had to
Driving.
sit up.
I had to sit up like this because you're like, well, you'll see, you're in like a rocket ship, bro.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Your seat.
I'm sure you like just pee in your suit.
Well, half the time you'd have to because.
Yeah.
Well, guys can wear catheters.
It's tough. It's tough though because.
Dude, that's so bananas.
Yeah.
tough, though. I
Girls
usually-
can't wear
Yeah.
catheters.
No.
I've tried, but it
I'm,
doesn't
usually
work.
pee in the seat.
I'd wear a
I
diaper.
peed in the seat.
No, you don't want a diaper either.
You get a
Oh.
rash.
Yeah. So
You get a rat.
well, I'll just give you the one-on-one on this because
Yeah,
this is
give it.
actually one of my number one questions
Yeah.
people ask me, and it's
Yeah.
the funniest thing. Like they always feel like maybe awkward, or sometimes
Sure.
they're super open, but
Yeah.
then it's the number one question if a girl starts to race, right? And I've tried everything. I'm in long races
Yep.
all the time, and so there's no such thing as a working catheter for a female right
Yeah.
now. Like there's these certain things you can cut, glue them on, and tape them. Like it doesn't work
Yeah.
in the end.
Oh.
And then when you're stuck and that doesn't work, then it's all over down
Yeah.
there. You
Yeah.
know, cutting you up or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But then if you have a diaper, you're sitting in it and there's no chance of it drying.
Right.
But we're racing with that
Oh,
windshield, so we have
Yeah.
airflow.
Yes.
And so if
The
you
pee
at least
dries.
pee your pants, like always
Yes.
put some diaper cream on. Like my dad always
Totally.
gives me diaper cream before my long
Yes.
races. Put on diaper cream and then you just pee yourself and you hope it
And
dries.
surprisingly, it feels not bad.
I have to say,
No, honestly, let's be honest. It's warm. It's warm until
after
the draft.
fact sucks.
Until after's bad because you get a little chilly. You notice it, but the
Yeah.
first pee, you're like, oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice.
I
That's warm.
I think I would probably the moment I got out of the car, like
Do I have
grab
to
whatever
raise
no,
water.
the worst
It's just
is
like-
Yeah,
the worst
no, yeah.
is
You know?
getting into the car after someone did their first 2 laps and they peed and you got to get into a fucking urine stained
Yeah.
car. That's the worst. Getting into a wet seat and you ask me, you pissed yourself, didn't you?
Do NASCAR people pee in their pants?
Yeah,
Oh.
everyone. I'm assuming.
I would think everyone.
I
pees.
would think.
Yeah,
Pee.
I really don't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
You gotta go. You gotta go, bro.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
mean,
go,
I
you
get
gotta-
that part. Yeah.
Just don't get out of the car, no matter what.
Yeah.
But you guys, Catherine just gave me a look at
Look at
her
Doom?
clock.
All right.
What do I have?
Well, because you know that she is the
It's
timekeeper,
noonish. It's
Oh.
high noon.
We
so that
must
way
be.
she doesn't
It's
get
high
traffic.
noon.
All right. Well, congratulations
thanks
to
a lot,
Natalie
man.
on 11 years sober.
Yeah,
today.
congrats.
Good job,
I've seen
Nat.
that.
Thanks. And the
Good job,
the
Nat.
world that
Lucky
came out of
run.
Nowhere.
You posted
What
it
in the world?
yesterday.
Fucking
What out
wrong.
of, like,
This is our first podcast since you had 11 years sober.
Yeah,
so
but
I wanted
that's
to
okay.
congratulate you on that. Sarah,
Yes, you're a stud. You're
Yeah,
a
really nice to
beast.
see you. Meet you. We're gonna come.
Oh yeah,
I know,
yeah, yeah.
You're
This
fully
is not the
sponsored.
end of our
happening.
relationship.
Fully sponsored.
For sure. And not only that, but Arizona is literally a hop, skip, and a
Fucking
jump.
2-hour drive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy breezy.
Yeah, it's all
Two,
fun.
2-hour drive.
Yeah.
It's like
What
4.
part of
It's like 4.
Arizona?
It's like
Mojave
4.
Valley?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know where Topak is?
Nope.
No? Do you know where Havasu is?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Go
we're
there all the time. My
so-
boat's out there.
Oh, there you go. So we're 30 minutes on the river, upriver. So Pirates Cove.
Oh yeah.
We're
I
right
know where
above Pirates Cove.
Yeah.
Oh my
awesome.
god, it's gonna be fun.
Gonna be fun.
It won't
Bring
be.
your
Well,
guns.
We're
Bring
all-
your guns.
we're
It's
all-
gonna be
Your
fun.
guns.
I'm doing a Hopeaholics trip to Lake Havasu.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
this
I've
summer
never,
with the boat.
I've
She's
never
never
done
wakeboarded,
wakeboarded.
done it any.
Yeah. So
Isn't that like nuts?
So my parents have a house in Lake Havasu in a condo, but didn't we go out there sometimes? But I have to say, like where we are is a lot better.
Yeah.
Should we just grab my boat and go there?
Because I'm sure
Yeah,
it's not like crazy, right?
it's not crazy.
They love
and that's the thing is the
I
lake
did
gets
Havasu.
really rough for where we are. It's like the river and it's all freedom. Like we don't have to worry about anything. We can just have fun and
Yeah.
it's
Good for
super
wakeboarding?
like yes, it's all low-key.
Wow.
Do you
wake
do you
surf.
wakeboard?
I wake surf now.
You don't wakeboard
Oh,
at all?
Not
anymore?
really. Like since we did
I mean-
wake surfing, we don't go back to the wakeboard.
But
I need to learn how to
wakeboarding,
do that.
I like catching air.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. But we don't get hurt on the wake surf.
I know, but I
Ooh.
want Shane and me
No,
to get
no,
hurt.
I don't. I'm not catching.
I think
that.
he just wants.
You're a wake surfer? The
I think he
slow-
wants to try to get me on the wakeboard so that way I could like fall forward and I'll continue.
You know
to
how
hold the
like when
ropes.
it's somebody's first time
You
Yeah.
always
and
gotta
they
let go.
Yeah.
and they catch
don't
the
let
front
go.
edge,
Oh yeah.
and
yeah.
nobody realizes how bad it hurts to smack your
Slap
face
water.
Yeah.
until you slap water.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it does hurt.
Yeah.
But that's why wake surfing is really fun because you just fall the whole time and it's like you're going so slow and you're so close to the boat that you can like have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I absolutely love wake surfing. I'm a fan
Then
now.
we'll do-
Wake,
we'll do
I'll
both.
try it.
Yeah,
I've
we'll do
just
both.
never done it.
well,
do both.
perfect. You don't need
Yeah.
to bring your boat. We have one coming here soon. We just sold ours, so we have a
Oh.
new one coming, and
Ooh.
so we'll just come to Rip and Dip. You'll be dialed.
Rip
You'll-
That'll
and
be
dip.
sick.
Rip and dip is okay. What is rip and dip?
So Rip and Dip's our ranch. I haven't
Nice. Rip and
really
dip.
Yeah,
put it out in the
dope.
world too much yet, but
Yeah, you heard
Fucking
it
awesome.
first.
It's your ranch.
yeah, so it's on the water. That's our property we're building. So our race shop's getting built right now in the back. And so when you come to train, that's
Yeah.
where the cars will be. That's where we'll take you out,
It's fucking
drive,
awesome.
and then we'll just go wake surfing after we're done.
Hell yeah.
That's good. That's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
time.
time.
I'm
Really,
in. I'm
that's
in.
a really good time
I'm in.
for me.
Yeah.
I'm in.
That's like
Party.
my world. That's
a
what I
party.
love.
That's
It's a party.
Yeah.
Party.
Yeah.
It's a party.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I grew up on the in the desert
Nice.
dirt.
Yeah.
I bet you we rode some of the same. You ever ride your motorcycle in Ritchie Canyon?
Oh yeah.
That's-
I know
so-
all those boys,
so-
like Vinny Carbone. You know him?
My house, like went into Ritchie Canyon. That's where I grew up, Grand Terrace.
So did you
On-
have like a bunch of donkeys always in your yard?
No, I had sheep all the time.
Really?
Yeah, sheep in my yard all the time.
There's a bunch of donkeys out there.
Yeah, they didn't have donkeys when I was out there.
Wild donkeys.
1985.
Huh. Crazy. Yeah.
Okay,
that's-
great. Thanks for coming
Amazing.
in.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
All right.
guys.
Shane loves
Thank
to
you
end it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You're
Yeah.
a rock star.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you, girl. You
Actually, I
too.
take that back because we're
He's
monsters.
a monster star.
Ah!
You know what I mean? But yeah, you're a savage.
Oh,
truly.
you too, girl. That's